StatBomb's not ready yet.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm here bringing you some Multiversus content. As promised, this one is going to be an explanation video on how Multiversus works as a platform fighter, as well as what I think is special about the game. My primary motivation for making this is to, interest my my Smite audience, get them to understand what the game's about. A lot of people were very interested in watching the content, but had no idea what was going on in the game. And I understand it's a completely new departure from Smite, so I figured this kind of video could go a long way. As well as if you're new here, I'm just going to lay out the basics of Multiversus and platform fighters as well, and then talk about why I think this is one of the best ones. And one that's really captured me. So platform fighter basically means that you fight on a stage like this. Often there are platforms. In this stage, it's just the training mode, so it's just a long flat space. The platforms, you can jump on top of and stand on them, jump off of them to gain more height, and yeah, you function basically. The stage is a battlefield in and of itself, instead of in like a traditional 2D fighter where you're just walking towards each other, from side to side, side scrolling. So the other things that make a platform fighter unique is usually you have lives. There are, in Smash, they call them stocks. In this game, there are, say in singles, for example, you need 2 ring outs in order to win the game. So I would need to kill this Shaggy 2 times off the side blast zones, the top blast zones, or the bottom. We're trying to knock him off the stage into these blast zones in order to get a KO. Pretty simple. But the thing is, there's no health meter. There's instead a percent meter. Now the percent meter builds up the more that you attack somebody, the more that you get in your blows, and you'll see that illustrated below the character as well as under yourself. The more that you get hits in, the more percent you build, and the higher percent the opponent is, the higher they're going to, the further they're going to be knocked back when you hit them with a strong blow. So you would, in this game, often have to get somebody to like 100 plus in order to get a KO off on them with a normal attack. Otherwise, you can kill earlier off the sides if you get somebody off the top very early, or if you get them down below you in a compromising position. Now, this is like my first time doing a big educational video and semi-scripted video, and so I'm sorry if I'm a little awkward about it, but I'm really happy to be here doing this for you guys, and I'm trying to work through the anxiety of it. Like I said, there's been a lot of bumps in the road for me lately, and I've I feel like lost a little bit of that confidence that always kept me going for things like this, and I'm trying to rebuild it. So bear with me if there's any awkwardness. So I explained the blast zones, the stage, the percent versus HP. Now Moveset. Moveset, there are both normal attacks and there are special attacks. Now the normal attacks and the special attacks each change based on what direction you input on your analog stick as you perform them. I'm using the Switch Pro controller, so my normal attacks are with Y. So if I input a side attack, it goes into this jab combo. If I don't input any direction, I throw the Batarang with Batman. If I go upward, obviously an up tilt, and downward a down tilt. This allows for a large variety of moves within a simple control scheme. It's something that Smash, came up with, and other games followed because it was so masterfully done, and it's both accessible and allows for complexity in the game. So there are specials in different directions as well. Usually these will give a little more flair to your character. They'll for mages, they'll be like special ranged moves and things like that. And so up special usually is like recovery, etc. So I'll go into that though. So other than that, just how the game is played, there are 2 jumps that you have from any platform or stage. As long as you're standing, you get 1 jump and then a 2nd jump. Batman has a unique glide animation that I'm using here that not every character has. So he can slow down his aerial mobility in order to, trip up enemies for what his timing will be when he comes down. Other than that, there's a fast fall mechanic. If you hold down while you're in the air, you will quickly, as you can see, get some streaks going and get down very quickly compared to otherwise. You can do this to maximize your mobility. Top players are really good at maximizing this. So other than that, there's Directional Influence in this game. This one's a little bit more complicated, or at least seems complicated. It has a complicated name, Directional Influence, but it's very simple. All it means is that when you get hit, you can alter the way your character flies, the way they get knocked back. So if Shaggy gets hit by my up special here, he can hold to the left and try to influence his direction by all he has to do is hold with his direction on his analog stick to the left or right, and you'll hear that talked about a lot, whether somebody had bad DI or good DI on a hit. It can mean the difference between living and dying at a higher percent. So if I was to do a large up special here, generally you want to aim towards the corners of the stage, the left and right, if you're being hit vertically, so that you don't hit the top blast zone so early. You're trying to maximize the distance your character can go without being wrung out, right, before reaching these blast zones. So obviously the further you can get your character, the better. So if you're going towards the side of the stage, you want to DI upwards so that you go towards the corner, right, because the corner has the most room for your character to fly without being wrung out. So simple stuff. But a little hard for people to implement at first. It's a little weird to think while you're getting hit you want to influence where you're going, but you get a feel for it pretty early. So this is obviously very similar to Smash in many ways, but I want to go into the things that make it different from Smash for people that so many of you probably know a lot of what I've been talking about already because you're already familiar with Smash Bros. Now I'll go into exactly what makes this game different, right? So first off, there's no ledge. In Smash, you're always trying to get back to the ledge. You're trying to grab it. You get invincibility once you're on it, and then you're pretty much in a position where you need to get off the ledge and back onto the stage safely. In this game, there is no ledge, so when you're off stage, you're just trying to make it back on however you can. Oh, there's one other thing I forgot to tell you. Like I said, there's 2 jumps in the game, but there's also air dodging, the same as in Smash. However, in this game, there's 2 air dodges that you can use while in the air. You want to be able to use a special and then 2 different dodges. So you can use 2 specials in the air. I can use this once, twice, and then I can dodge twice. And then you'll hear this sound. When you hear that, it means that you're out of air dodges or you're out of specials. That's different from Smash, in which you can usually air dodge however many times you want in Ultimate or only once in Melee. So they found their own little niche there, kind of an in-between. And usually in Smash, when you use an upward special or recovery move, you'll go into a free fall animation. In this game, you do not. You can keep attacking after your specials, which adds a lot of depth. So like I said, no ledge. Not every character can grab in this game. Some can, like Iron Giant. Jake has a sort of command grabs. Superman has one as well, but there's no designated button for grab. It's usually part of their specials, and a unique special that allows them to do it. That part is, I'm still trying to figure out if I love that or not, because I always loved grabbing in Smash. It was one of my my big go-to moves, and I even loved chain grabbing, which most people hate about Melee, and in Brawl you could chain grab as well. But yeah, so that eliminates the problem with chain grabbing and things. And like I said, there's chain grabbing, by the way, is just meaning that you can chain together grabs. Like some characters like DDD in Smash Bros. Brawl could use down throw, run, grab you again, down throw across the stage, and chain grab you, they called it. So yeah, no chain grabbing, no grabs at all unless your character has a specific one, and then they can only throw you in a variety of directions. So no shielding either in this game. That is one of the biggest changes, right? In Smash Bros, you can hold R or L to shield at any time while you're on the ground, and it blocks your opponent's moves. In this game, there are instead just dodges. You can dodge in place, you can roll, you can dodge upward, and you can dodge in the air like I was talking about. So that's the only way to gain invulnerability, to dodge attacks. And the dodging invulnerability does decay over time if you're using it too much. I think that is still one thing that's a little too bloated, that you're a little too safe after attacks. You can dodge immediately after attacks, even cancel attacks into dodges, and it leads to a lot of defensive play that keeps people from hitting each other for quite a long time sometimes. That's my only biggest gripe with this game right now, but it doesn't break the game by any means. Alright, so 2 air dodges, no specials, 2 specials, no free fall. We'll go into cooldowns. So certain moves in this game you'll be familiar with from Smite and MOBA backgrounds is that you have cooldowns. Obviously, Batman's Batarang, as you can see when I throw it, there's a little cooldown on the bottom. It's slowly filling up. If I go retrieve it, it'll hasten that cooldown by quite a bit, and it'll eventually get me the Batarang more quickly. But generally, a lot of characters don't have something like that, where they can retrieve whatever it is they've thrown to hasten their cooldown. A lot of times, you're just going to have to hold that cooldown time and wait for it to come back up for you to use your special again. And that goes for a variety of characters with a variety of moves. Usually they're the most powerful moves. The Batarang is an extremely powerful move, and that's why it has a cooldown. But not all specials have cooldowns. My up special doesn't, my side special doesn't, things like that, right? Shaggy actually has no cooldowns as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I believe he has no cooldowns at all. So some characters don't even incorporate it at all, but it is a thing. The other big difference is that there's no friendly fire in doubles, right? So in 2v2 mode in Smash, usually there's friendly fire, meaning that if you hit your opponent or if you hit your teammate with a move, they will get knocked back and damaged. In this game, you go right through your teammate. And so you don't incur any knockback or damage. You can basically combo people to hell and back with your teammate by, just comboing them right on top of each other, and that creates a really interesting element. Alright, so other than that, there are character roles in this game. I'll look at them quickly with you. So as you can see, Shaggy is a bruiser. It means that he fights hand-to-hand combat, very close range. Batman is the same way, even though he has a projectile. Actually, Shaggy has a projectile too. It's just not as good. So here you can see Taz is a bruiser as well. And then there are support characters like Rain Dog. These characters can heal. They can often influence their teammates with something like a tether like Rain Dog has by saving them off the stage. And then there are things like, what's it called? Tanks, which you'll be familiar with as well. They're heavy characters that want to soak up a lot of damage for the team. Wonder Woman has like a unique shielding move where she can, immune hits for her teammate. And there are all different roles in this game. Assassins are heavy hitting characters that kill very early and incur more damage than usual. I think 15% more damage than the average character. And that makes them, obviously a little squishier than other characters. And you can see each character's support class on the top right, the little symbols. There are also mages like Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny who can attack from afar. They use a variety of projectiles to attack. They still have close range moves as well, but yeah. Those are character roles, basically. I'll go